welcome back to the Entertainment Vortex. Today we are at Brendan Theaters watching Murder on the Orient Express. Now, of course, this is a remake of an old movie from back in the 70s, based off of an Agatha Christie novel, and is pretty well known. I actually did not know the story going into this at all. I knew the idea, murder happened on the train, person's trying to figure it out, but I didn't know any of the details. I definitely didn't know how it ended in the book or the old movie. I hadn't seen it. The main reason I was really excited to see this movie was Kenneth Branagh. He is a powerhouse actor, in my opinion. I remember seeing him in Hamlet when I was younger, and everything I've seen him in except for Wild Wild West has been amazing acting. I mean, this guy is on point. I was not surprised to find out at the end of this movie that he also directed this movie, and you can see it. See, the nuances of his character. He plays the detective that's trying to figure out the crime. It's so many layers. You can see what's emotionally going through his head. You can see what he's feeling and struggling with the entire movie. Close-ups on his face. It's almost like you're reading a map. Like, there's so much going on. I really was impressed by his acting in this.
I have seen the original 74 version. Seeing the trailers for this, I thought that it looked interesting, and the views that they show in the trailer, really stylish and cinematic, and those are things that I really enjoy seeing in modern cinema. But I was kind of one of the people who was like, I don't know if this needs to happen. Movie from 74, got several Academy Award nominations, including for Best Picture, so I mean, that's a big deal. Going into this movie, like I said, I had some doubts. A few of those were, I feel, a little warranted, but some of them were also very well squashed. Kenneth Branagh was absolutely fantastic. He makes this movie head over shoulders. Definitely the best part of this movie. His acting, the facial expressions that he makes. He has moments where he's very light and comedic, and moments where he's very serious, kind of weighing on black versus white, the gray area in the middle, and not necessarily being able to understand that.
Most of the performances were really good. As you might know if you've seen the trailer, this is a star-studded cast. The list of actors that are in this movie is crazy. It's like 2 pages of known actors. A lot of them did a fantastic job. The only person that I was kind of iffy with was Michelle Pfeiffer. I don't know if they were trying to accomplish something with her character specific, like maybe this was the direction they were given, that she was given. It felt weird. It felt off-putting. And as the movie goes along, you learn more about these characters, and I'm not going to go into any of that here, because if you don't know the story, I want you to experience this story through the course of the film. But as things get exposed about all the different characters, I don't think hers was really that interesting. I don't think hers was really that well done.
When it comes to some of the other acting performances, this movie had a long list of Academy Award winning and nominated actors in it. I feel like most people stood up to the roles and did a really good job. Particularly a standout for me was Josh Gad. There were some nuance to his character, some really heavy emotional moments. Like, it was something that I invested myself in that character. The cinematography is absolutely fantastic, stunning. There's always contrast, and things are colorful, where other things, have that, that gray and that dark tone to kind of, balance things out. The filming style is, something that is a big staple in Hollywood at this point in time, and I feel like these kinds of styles will stand the test of time a little bit better than maybe some of the older things, technology and a little more eye for things cinematically.
Now, not having seen the original and not having read the book, I have no basis of comparison. I'm holding this movie on its own, but I really enjoyed it. Not only was I emotionally impacted at the climax of the film when everything is revealed, but I was also just strapped into my seat ready for the ride, and it was quite the ride, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to guess it for myself, which you're not going to guess it for yourself. It's pretty awesome. Just enjoying the mystery of it all. It was also quite the spectacle. I liked how they framed certain shots. I liked the close-ups and how they did specific close-ups where it cuts off part of his face and his mustache kind of frames the shot for them, and a lot of the visuals in the movie was just absolutely beautiful, and it just added to the overall feel of the film.
When it comes to the final act of this film, they're telling a story that's been written, but some of it does feel like there's a little too much that's going on in the last few scenes. There's a big build-up trying to figure out what happened, as far as the murder on the Orient Express. It's in the title. But there are a lot of revelations that are made right at the very end before things are kind of laid out, and I feel like that was a little too much all at once, where if they added another maybe 10 or 15 minutes of runtime, they kind of could have spaced things out a little bit better. Overall, I would say that this movie is probably a 7.5 out of 10 for me. Like I said, it's not going to be something where, you know, anything outside of maybe Branagh for some form of a award season nod. I could see that definitely happening, but overall, I feel like there are flaws to this film, but it's definitely worth watching.
I was worried that it was going to slow down because you're in one spot, you're in this train, you're not really any variety, you're not going anywhere, and it's just talking heads. I didn't think it fell in that trap. It kept it new, and they moved around the train and new locations in the train, and the dialogue was so well done and so well written, probably thanks to Agatha Christie, that it really, really came out as entertaining. I did not feel at any point during this movie that I was bored. Immersion never broke for me. And that is the key to success. If you can start the movie, lose yourself in it, get really emotional at the climax, and then come to the end of the movie and go, that was quite the ride, I can't ask for anything more than that. With that being said, I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. And the reason I'm going to do that is because it gave me exactly what I wanted it to. This is an experience that you kind of have to have. If you haven't seen the original and you don't know the ending to this story, go see this. I don't necessarily think you're going to gain a whole lot in theaters over seeing it at home, but you definitely need to see this movie. It's one of those films that you're going to be thinking about it after you go home. You're going to be talking to your friends about it, and it's really going to stay with you. At least it's going to stay with me. So I'm curious to know, what is your favorite Kenneth Branagh movie? Go ahead and put that down in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to this channel so you can get weekly movie reviews as well as weekly Funko Pop videos and some cool surprises we have coming up in the near future. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the PC Gaming Vortex, which is our gaming channel, which is about to get a big overhaul along with new content weekly as well. I hope you'll follow us into the Vortex. We'll see you next time.